Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This infringement of copyright is called fair use, and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news, reporting, teaching, and parody. This means you! Hello again, Gravity Falls. How have you been? Oh, you've been very emotional and have the big end-of-the-world story waiting? Cool. Yeah, I cannot praise this show enough. Though from a lot of what I've seen, people either side with me and love the show, seeing its amazing writing, consistent storytelling, intricate animation, respectful and interesting characters. Obviously, I see that side. The opposing side I've seen usually comes from those who prefer comedy over storytelling, and tend to lean a lot more towards liking Teen Titans Go, which again I'll get to early November. But I can see where this side comes from as well. The writing can feel a bit pretentious at times, especially whenever Bill Cipher is thrown into the mix. Focuses way more on their story than their humor, which, when creating a kids show, is kind of a fail, and the characters do have their moments of tediousness. For the final Disney Month video before I do my Halloween special, I will be talking about a Gravity Falls episode that does actually open my eyes to the opposition that this is a good show. Don't get me wrong, I still love the show, and a lot of the episodes are very good in my opinion. However, no show is out without its bad episodes. Which leads me to cover an episode of Gravity Falls I've mentioned a few times now. Carpet Diem. So the episode starts with a sibling bonding scene as Mabel, played by Christian Shaw, and Dipper, played by Jason Ritter, are playing a very interesting game of golf where, basically, they make up their own rules as they go. And Waddles the Pig is the scorekeeper. See, even if it's not always funny, Gravity Falls tends to make me smile with sweet little moments like this. So Mabel's alarm goes off, and she explains that her friends, Candy and Brenda, played by Carl Furolo and Nikki Yang, are coming over to spend the night. Starting their problem early. I mean, don't get me wrong, Candy and Brenda have their moments of actual relevancy and can bring some funny moments into the show, as most of the time they're used as plot B, fodder, and comic relief. But sometimes they cross that infamous line between funny and annoying, and in this particular episode they do that within the first minute after the opening. After Dipper survives the annoyance, Dipper goes to Seuss, played by Alex Hirsch, and asks if he can sleep in a break room. After seeing that it's barely a room, he tries to sleep outside, until he gets attacked by a wolf.
This is still better.
I 100% agree. The next morning, the girls reminisce about their party, and Mabel tries to brighten Dipper's day. But Dipper isn't having that, and the two reach an agreement saying that they shouldn't share rooms. So they go to their great uncle Stan, also played by Alex Hirsch, and ask to be separated. Stan says that there are no more rooms, but Seuss finds a new room almost immediately. And both Dipper and Mabel want it. Stan sees an opportunity and says basically the one who kisses up to him the most wins the room. Starting my second issue with the story. It's a ticket holder story. I've already gone into this explaining why I dislike this story. You can go watch my review of My Little Pony episode, The Ticketmaster, wrongly named Ticket Holder. For a while we get them trying to suck up to Stan until we get the following scene.
Hey brother, don't get too comfortable. I just made Stan an omelet shaped like his own face.
I have seen the face of beauty.
Face it, I'm like a suck-up ninja. This room's as good as mine. You might as well give up now. What do you say?
I say I'm gonna win this room somehow, and when I do, I'll finally have my own space, and we'll never have to share anything ever again!
And now we get to the mixed part of the ticket holder story. The body swapping story. Now, I'm not gonna be like Mr. Enter and say that body swapping doesn't mean voice swapping. That's just being nitpicky. Sure, it's impressive when a voice actor or actress can act like another person's character, but it's not required, and that's not why this episode fails. This episode has many other glaring flaws, and if you want to claim this fails due to one minor detail, you may wish to have a new criteria. This episode is the weakest of Gravity Falls episodes due to the fact the characters are annoying and simply unlikable in this episode. Dipper and Mabel are bickering assholes who are purposely slaving themselves over a fucking room, sucking up to a character just for it, and being too clingy to this idea. That is until they swap bodies and then turn this fucking story on its head 180 degrees and doing nothing but annoying Stan, and in return being annoying to me as the viewer, as they do the exact same thing every body-swapping story tends to do, as they try to ruin each other's reputations, dignity, or life. Brenda and Candy are just loud and screechy, just overall too excited. And they kill my ears at max volume. Grunkle Stan has developed Mr. Krabs' syndrome, and that his best trait was amplified to be his worst trait, and we also have to deal with the incompetent police on the show, which are easily the weakest characters of the show. The only redeeming factor in this episode is Waddle's story, which was used as a comic relief, and it's pretty funny and is a nice change of pace. But at what cost? Anyway, I'll see you guys next time with the Halloween special. Take care.
My shoes just to see what it's like to be me. I'll be you. Straight shoes just to.
If you would like to get caught up on future reviews, there's a link in the description below to a Facebook page. Basically, all that I'm gonna tell you. I mean, you can follow it. You can get all the updates to future reviews if you care. If not, I'm not gonna force you to do it. It's all up to you.